Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3631. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, The Ted Smith, and Mike. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, a Men's Room shout of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack. Drinking and drunk.
All right, here we go. Pennsylvania couple busted stealing over $1,000 worth of candles from a CVS. Meanwhile, a man with cocaine in his butt cheeks refuses to stop clenching and undress. San Diego man making a protein shake while driving stabs himself in the neck. Japanese police looking for whoever stole a bunch of guardrails. Not good if you get into a wreck. And a Florida man tells cops his girlfriend was beating him like 50 Shades of Grey. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, here is an inevitable fact of life. There is something about you right now that does not feel perfect. Now, not some massive trauma or insurmountable pain, but some really small annoyance that's just not worth mentioning, but it's still irritating to you. Now, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you have a hangnail that keeps getting caught in your clothes, or you slept wrong and your neck is stiff, or maybe you stubbed your toe earlier, but it still hurts just enough to remind you that you did it at all. Is there a piece of popcorn stuck between your teeth? Or you burnt the roof of your mouth, or even worse, I hate this one, when you accidentally bite the inside of your own cheek. Maybe you're like our coworker VD. He tried to pop a pimple on his shoulder, but the pimple didn't pop. But now it's just this tiny spot of grating pain. And every time he moves, he feels it. You're not going to go home for it. You don't go to the doctor. You don't shed a tear, but it's annoying. Or maybe you're like me, whose back has been itching all day, but I'm itching in that spot that is physically impossible to reach, so I keep rubbing my back on the chair. It's not the end of the world. It's just annoying. Or maybe you just have a friggin' headache. Not a crippling migraine, but that dull throb that serves really no purpose other than to remind you that you could feel better. So look, swamp ass, bubble guts, paper cuts, water in your ear. One of the world's most annoying things, that booger way up in your nostril that you can feel every time you inhale and exhale, but you cannot reach it. You cannot blow it out. Today, we're getting downright petty. If you lost 3 fingers on a bandsaw, we don't care. But if you whacked your knuckles on the door frame and it still kind of hurts, we want to hear from you today. We are convinced that there is not a person on this earth that's not in some kind of mild discomfort. Maybe you just wore the wrong socks with the wrong shoes, or your underwear keeps bunching up in your butt cheeks. It's real simple. Today, we just want to know, what the hell is wrong with you right now?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back is all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence. Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence. If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
As fathers, we must protect our children at all costs, and nothing threatens our babies more than poop. Day and night, poop threatens to attack their skin, make them cry, and ruin their favorite outfits. Hello Bello has stepped in to help us win the battle of the buns. Their diapers are absorbent, help prevent leaks, and come in a bunch of cute designs to make other babies jealous. They're affordable and delivered right to your door. To join the fight against poop, visit HelloBello.com and enter HELLO30 for 30% off your first order.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hello, Charles. Away we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3631. What a large and in charge program we've got for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. That is a fact. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. I don't know how you find these stories that are so messed up, but
I have a team of interns, at least 25 of us, spread out across the globe, Miles. Right. I mean, we have offices in London, Paris, Tokyo, even in Ukraine, as it were. All of them, they sift through the news, and it doesn't matter what country they're in. I always get the same response. Thrill? There's just nobody doing anything bad out there.
No.
Keep looking.
Every day when I read the news, I'm so happy when I'm done. You know what I mean? And I can't believe you find these stories that are bad people doing bad things.
Yeah. But believe it or not, man, thanks to the painstaking work of the interns around the world, I should take the time to thank them. Yes, we did, among the 40 people on staff, managed to find 3 people in the last week that did things that aren't so cool.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Okay.
I hate to ruin news for you. And we have some titles this week. We have...
Why is the one intern 60?
Dude, he needs some work. When he retired, he realized he doesn't like his wife, but they're still the same reason they work as greeters at Walmart. Like, I hate my spouse, but we're not getting divorced.
Yesterday he left early. He had, quote, too much coffee.
We call that incontinence. Yeah, so today we have, Boy, Your Baby Looks Funny. That's the title of one. Nice. We have my favorite, started by Mike, Why Do You Keep Hitting Yourself? Which is less funny when you hear the story. And finally, what I call kettle corn.
Kettle corn.
Delicious.
Delicious kettle corn.
Remember you said that.
Yes.
It smells great.
Remember you said that.
And, of course, as we do Monday through Friday at 6, we'll head on over to the Odyssey app exclusively for the Men's Room Happy Hour coming up today. We leave these airwaves and head over to the Odyssey app on the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. That channel will go live for you at 6 o'clock. It is an adult-only segment as we offer more Men's Room for you every Monday through Friday at 6. Whatever we get into today, we'll get into it today. Seems like the last few days we've just gone off the rails.
Yeah, whatever.
Done whatever the hell we want. So hopefully if you haven't got a chance to check it out, do so. That Odyssey app, by the way, is absolutely free. And today, no real backstory on this other than the fact that the older you get, the more your body hurts. And one thing we know for a fact, unless you...
No, there is a backstory. There is a backstory. This is what happened yesterday in the office. I had a horrible night's sleep, blah, 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 but my stomach kept making those noises, right? Just I finally tried to just take a dump, and it turns out it was not poop. It was just one of those super loud farts that I explained to Miles. Sounds a lot like a kid the first time they blow into a trumpet, right? So it's one of those real screechy, kind of loud things. I said, I don't get it, but it's just bugging me. It doesn't hurt. It's just annoying. And then Miles looks at me and he goes, man, my butthole hurts.
It's on fire.
So I said, okay, it doesn't matter who you talk to, whoever you talk to, there's something that just doesn't feel right.
So what do I do, Ted? Yesterday I used some hemorrhoid cream.
See if I could help everything.
I thought they were gone.
I still have reoccurring flare-ups from time to time. Like, I might need to go in there and get another surgery. Like the guy who called the other day said he had 3.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it, I'm like, I'm on the same train.
We even said your doctor said, like, these are some of the worst we've ever seen.
And he couldn't get them all out. So there's still,
Right, and it feels like it's like, I'm not positive what the pain is. Like, if I have, like, Thrill's say, like, for instance, Friday night I went out to a Korean fried chicken place. And I ate some sauce I shouldn't have eaten.
All right.
So the next day, my buttocks hurt.
Yes.
But, like, I don't think it was a hemorrhoid.
No. It's just the fire from the spice.
But see, Miles had that complaint earlier today. He got a gyro. Turns out it was not a gyro he liked. But he's reaching over to grab Tums. So the point was, he ate food you didn't like, and the price you pay, heartburn.
Terrible.
Not the end of the world.
Yep, frozen pizza. Got me over the weekend.
Right, but it's sad.
So this morning, I decide once again, you can do it a couple ways. It's a topical cream or it's a suppository cream, okay?
I'm going topical.
Well, my problem is not on the top. My problem is inside.
Up in there.
So, of course, I use a little
Tell him about those
suppository cream.
condoms.
So I go outside. Steve and I are having our first cigarette of the morning, and I let one rip, and he says, is that a fart?
I literally did. It sounded like he went, seriously. It sounded like he went, huh?
And I went like, yes. Because it didn't seem like a fart all the way, you know, and then I remembered, and then my butt cheeks, they got real greasy. And I'm like, I blew out all the cream. You know what I mean? So then I clenched.
Don't say that.
Kind of walk. Well,
that's what we're talking about today.
I know.
This is my day.
It's not the end of the world, but he blew him wrong.
He wasn't looking at you.
This is the way the day works. You know what I mean? Then I waddle to the elevator. I'm like, I gotta go. So I go upstairs, and that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? But then I'm just like, so then I get hungry, and then I get a terrible gyro, and then I get really, really bad heartburn.
Right. It's like,
you know what I mean?
None of these the world in.
No.
But they all suck.
My hands hurt in the cold for another thing. Like it's not like an arthritis thing, but maybe it is. It's just like they just get
It's cold.
They get really, really tight, and they hurt. When I start,
And this is not a lie. Seriously, we did the setup for the show. We asked the question. We go to the first break, top of the show. I walk out of the studio, and I bang my hand on the studio door, cut my knuckle open, and I'm bleeding. I'm like, this is exactly what we're talking about.
Yep. Another thing that's been going on with me for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I have this blackhead or pimple on the inside of my ear. All right? So I have been trying forever to get this thing out of there. Because I know it's like one of those, like, you ever, like, talk to someone, they turn their head, and you realize, like, they have the largest blackhead on the inside of their ear that you've ever seen.
And then I have to stop staring at it because they'll notice.
They don't know it's there because they can't see it, but you definitely do. And you're like, it was one of those. You know what I mean? So I'm picking at it, it just hurts and stings and burns. It's on the inside of my ear. And then lo and behold, this morning, I just went to put a Q-tip in. And I kind of felt it, and it was kind of coming to it. And I popped that thing, man. And I mean, it was just, I could not believe how much crap was inside of it.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, no wonder my ear has been on fire. And these are just regular,
it's day to day.
Look, unless you cut yourself open to the point that you need stitches, or as a guy, something is wrong with your penis, typically, pain is not one of those things that sends you to the hospital. Now, in certain instances, it definitely should. But
a lot of times...
And we have a list of things that you need to look out for in case you are in pain.
But a lot of times you're in pain. And no, you're not going to go to the hospital for it. But you don't know why you're in pain.
You just hope the pain goes away.
Right? Like, for whatever reason, like on this day, your knee is just going to hurt. And you go through your mental Rolodex. There's nothing that you did. You didn't hit it.
Right.
Then inevitably, I feel like we just blame it on sleeping wrong. I feel like being unconscious takes the blame for any pain that we can't explain.
Right. I was.
Oh yeah, I bumped my knee today on a coffee table.
You ever like fall asleep on like your own fist, kind of, so your knuckles are digging into your cheek, and then when you wake up, it's like someone punched you. You just spend the rest of the day flexing your jaw.
Well,
dumb stuff. You're not going to complain. Everyone will call you a bitch.
Do you have tooth pain right now?
I do not have tooth pain right now. I did last week, made a dentist appointment, got in 2 days later.
Okay.
Because
that's one you got to deal with, right?
Right. I don't mess with that one. No. I do not mess with tooth pain, dude.
Correct.
One, it's excruciating. Right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's in a little bit of pain, whatever it might be, and you don't even bother to bring it up. When you have a toothache, you tell people, I have a toothache. Like, I have a toothache.
A couple of years ago, I'm sitting in the office, and we're just talking. I'm like, man, I feel like I got beat up last night. I'm like, I'm every bone in my body is sore. Like, I am sore. Next day, it's worse. It's always worse the day after.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, by about day 3 at the office, I'm sitting there, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a story I read or just something triggered my brain. I was like, that's right. I fell down the steps in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally forgot because I was kind of sleepwalking. And I did one of those things where you got your socks on, you've got carpeted steps, your heel kind of misses, and just off you go. But then I did a forward tumble. Once my feet finally caught, because they're straight, you know, they go doom, 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 you know that? And then when they caught, then it kind of propelled me forward.
Right, your momentum is still
based
going.
on the speed. And but when I landed like kind of on my feet, like I meant to do it. And I remember when I did it, I was like, whoa, I'm okay. And I popped right back up, got some water, whatever, went back to sleep. But it took 3 days for me to remember exactly what it was that happened.
Sure.
It wasn't like I woke up drunk or anything like that. Literally just fell down the steps in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it took me 3 days to remember why.
So people here, I like this. We got a couple responses here, all right? So this one, I think we can all sympathize with this one. This one does suck, and it's not something you share with people most of the time. It says, I just got done having a stomach bug. Wiped so much from losing as constantly that I chapped my butthole.
You can do that.
Been there.
Oh, yeah.
Been there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You're just like, if you have diarrhea
But you
for
got to
2
do
days.
it. Yeah.
And there's just nothing you can do.
It's the
Who are you
equivalent-
going to bitch to?
You know, it's the equivalent of a baby rash, but you're an adult. I mean, that's really it all.
I keep Balmex in my house for that.
Think about that. You are prepared for that because you know that chapped butt is a reality should things go wrong.
I have
right?
hemorrhoid cream in my house at all times because I know, you know what I mean? Like when it comes on, you need to have that cream.
Someone here, not only do I have a pinched nerve in my neck, God damn, I hate a pinched nerve. I have a pinched nerve in my neck causing my left arm to go numb. I have an ingrown hair on my inner thigh. Now it's become a cyst, plus arthritis in my hands and my back. I'm only 53. What the F? Someone else? My left shoulder / neck kind of hurts. Guess I slept wrong. Mm-hmm. That's how it goes, man. It's always, I slept wrong. Smacked my funny bone on the truck door while you were listing examples of pain.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had a funny bone shot in a while. They don't really bother me too much. I'm kind of like, funny bone.
I feel like that's something that happens a lot more when you're a child, for whatever reason.
I think you just have to hit it right.
Yeah.
As adults, you just don't hit your elbow on things nearly as much.
That's true.
But yeah, it's one of those things where just like if you hit it just on that spot.
But have you ever had tinnitus like a tennis elbow? That does not go away. I mean, that's one of those injuries. That, like the one that was worse for me is I had a plantar issue in my heel, and that's like somebody took a nail and drives it straight up in your heel. But the pain is there for like, I swear to God, it seemed like it took 9 months for the pain to finally go away.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just one of where every day when I woke up, it was like I would scream when I put my foot just down on the floor off the bed. I mean, it was absolutely crazy how much that hurt.
I like this one. It says, I can't decide which is more annoying. The 6 bruise I acquired last night on my knee that I kept hitting on things, or that the top part of my ass has been stripped of some skin from wearing thongs that pull up mid-back. Ooh. Yeah, see? Petty problem, but nobody wants it.
That's it. What the hell's wrong with you right now? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room.
Fat bitches and cheap porn.
Hola.
How's it going, guys?
Doing great, man.
So messed up thing is I actually do have some real drama going on today, but for the sake of the question, I'm just cold, and then when I get in my car, I'm warm because I'm all bundled up from the cold.
So your problem is the cold, the weather.
I had to bundle up. I got like thermals on everything, gloves, beanies, my best hoodie, and then when I go on my breakouts in my car, it's too hot. So it can't get happy.
Let me ask you this. Do you work outdoors?
Yeah, I'm in a warehouse. So
Okay. All right.
Oh, see,
it's cold outside.
In here.
My body gets sore in the cold. Like this weather like this, if you're outside and that stuff, I mean, after a while, my whole entire body hurts. It's almost like driving in the rain for 3 hours or 4 hours at night. I kind of tighten up. My shoulders get all clenchy. My neck, you know what I mean? I get this real like about me.
I don't feel that the cold makes anyone feel better.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like if someone flicks your ear when it's hot, all they did was flick your ear. If they do it when it's cold, it's a fight.
That's why I like going to a tanning bed, man. It's like an air fryer for a human being. You know what I mean? You go in there for 8 minutes.
It is.
And when you're done, you're like, I'm perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I am perfectly done. This is all I needed. It was just 8 minutes of this fluorescent tube lighting.
8? Damn.
What? Is that too long?
Yeah. For me, it is. I'm pasty, man. I would be burnt to a crisp.
How long do you stay?
Like, Mike's saying 4. I think when I was doing it for like a month consistently, I think I worked up to like 5.
Huh. Yeah, my black ass has never been in one, so.
Wow, it's great. It's great. It's great, man. I mean,
You've had a sunburn before.
I have had a sunburn, man.
Isn't a sunburn.
Do you think that they would look at me if I rolled in and said, hey, man, how much for time in your tanning booth?
Well,
you think it would be awkward, or do you think that, like...
I think most people who work at those places know it just makes you feel better. So that's like 50% of it. You know what I'm saying? Like going into a sauna, going into a steam room, it's kind of similar to that. So
what I have come to understand is that feeling better is a side effect from going in there to get colored. Like, I've never heard anyone say, I don't think feel, but they say it feels good. It's like getting the head massage at the barber, right? Like, I understand it feels good, but you went there to get your hair cut, right?
Correct. People are going there to get tan. It's just a side benefit. The month we did it was like February, and it was like, oh, I do feel better.
Oh, buddy, you got some strong hands washing my hair.
Well, but also, people are gross in tanning beds.
Well, they're clean. I mean, they're clean between use.
Right. You ever talk to one of the people that work there?
No.
Oh, my God. It is vile.
Then don't talk to people that work there.
What do you mean? What is vile?
Like, people leave streaks. I knew the girl that worked at the one near my place when I lived in Belltown, and she was like, and dudes would leave stuff.
No. Oh, really?
You get in the tan and masturbating?
In the bed.
Maybe I will go to the tanning bed.
Huh. Yeah, I only do that when I take a float. What the hell is wrong with you right now?
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Why are stores always out of the size you need? You know what I mean? Like that cute dress that caught your eye or the size 4 diapers you specifically came to buy. At Hello Bello, we want to make those unsuccessful trips to the store a thing of the past, which is why we created our diaper bundle. Simply visit HelloBello.com from the comfort of your own couch, choose the size and up to 7 designs, and we'll deliver everything right to your door hassle-free. Visit HelloBello.com and enter HELLO30 at checkout for 30% off your first order.
6-421-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
KISW proudly presents the roast of Steve Miggs. Going down Friday night, April 15th, Snoqualmie Casino, live on stage. Your favorite KISW players.
And us.
Special guest roasters as well. Live music from Glenn Cannon and Damage Done. And it's going to be a great night. By the way, part of the ticket proceeds benefit our friends at Smash Seattle, but that is going to be a hell of a good time. A lot of people coming out in many different walks of life.
Yes.
To roast Steve Miggs. Steve Miggs has got his hands in a lot of different cookie jars.
Hey, he's a legend.
Yeah, he is, man. He's a wrestler. He's a hockey player. He's a drummer in more than one band. You know what I mean? The guy does.
He's a father. His own kid's going to roast him.
Right. Well, sometimes if he has time.
I'm working with her.
Oh, you guys are working on material?
Yeah. Well, right now we're at the like it's mainly me yelling, you need to speak words.
Yeah. Right. Once you get past that,
but
going to kill.
We're hoping in a month and a half from now, move right along into roasting.
Tickets on sale now. There's all kinds of packages there. KISW.com. I know we're having an after party and all that stuff is included in some of those packages as well. All right, question. What the hell is wrong with you right now? 206-421-ROCK.
Right before we get to the phones, a few more comments came in, and by few, I mean millions. Fell asleep on the toilet, got hemorrhoids. I'm 35.
Fell asleep on the toilet?
I've heard that before, man.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, like it's bad to hover over the toilet that long. That's just what I've heard.
I know, but just like you fell asleep?
Fell asleep.
But he could have fallen asleep like for hours. You know, I'm imagining like 20 minutes, but like if you fell asleep, passed out like for 6 hours or something, that might lead to something.
I'm just amazed you fell asleep sitting up on the toilet.
I know.
Like I've fallen asleep sitting on my couch, but you kind of lean back and there's cushions.
Yeah, I haven't fallen asleep on the toilet yet.
All right, I guess I'll say yet.
Someone here says I've had to wipe my ass about 20 times since yesterday. I've only taken 2 dumps. hopefully tomorrow's a better day. And I like they end with, love the show, gentlemen.
I found that after COVID, there was a lot more of that going on in my life.
And then a discharge?
Well, you can't explain some of the pains you have after COVID. It's weird because you're kind of like just in a fog, but your body doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But you get just weird aches and pains. You don't understand. There's no real rhyme and reason to it. It's just, it just doesn't go away. It's like weeks.
Someone here says, hey, my molar's loose and my jaw feels like it's been hit by a concrete truck. Dude, get on that.
Mm-hmm. Go to the doctor.
Do not mess with don't mess with your teeth.
Because some of the tooth stuff, too, only because I had it said to me, was like, you don't have to get a root canal today, but you're going to end up in the emergency room in a week.
Yeah. Without a doubt, man. Yeah, get that.
You gotta get what do you got to get? 3 or 2 molars taken out?
2, but one of them, the way it's connected to another molar, 3 will be removed.
So did you schedule this appointment yet?
I haven't scheduled it yet, but I'm going to before the next dentist visit, which is in June.
What are you going to go for? Yeah. You want a Friday off or a Monday off, Ted? How do you want to work?
Yeah, this is
we're definitely going to.
You're not going to work.
He won't be able to talk. We got a 3-day weekend somewhere.
Most of those surgeries are only performed on Thursdays, and it's at least a 2-day recovery.
Ooh, you're kidding me.
Then that's what I have to do.
I'll be damned.
Damn, I don't make the rules. Shoot.
You're talking about root canals, right?
Yeah, something.
Yeah. All they're going to take.
Well, no, it can't be a root canal.
Well, I mean, they're moving 3 teeth out of my freaking mouth.
This is the remedial form of dentistry, where basically you look on the table and it looks like they went to Home Depot.
Yeah,
there's pliers.
But Thrill likes it because it starts with a shot of Jack.
There's like an ice pick thing with a hammer.
There's none of that fun gas.
Right. Just give me whiskey.
Dude, I told you when I had my root canal, I was like, Doc, I need more gas. And he's like, sir, the nerve is completely gone. You're just asking for gas.
It's literally impossible for you to be feeling pain.
You can't be in pain.
Were you really in pain?
I don't know.
He was high. What do you mean? He just wanted more gas?
I guess. I was like, oh, man, I can feel that. You better hit me again. And he's like, sir, the nerve is completely gone. You shouldn't be feeling anything. All right.
You caught me.
All right, just fill one up.
Hook me up. Hook me up anyway.
Say, fill one up in a balloon. I'll be on my way.
Right. I brought my own.
999 walking down the street.
What the hell's wrong with you right now? 206-4200.
Guess who it is, Ted? James, welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Oh, James, what's up, dude?
Not too much.
Sorry, I'm just throwing off. It's not your normal day. Go ahead, tell your story.
Yeah, I know. Much like Furl running into the door right after he called. I have no idea. One of the things about the beer cooler is on the top shelf is where the air recycle is.
Yeah.
And there's a flat plate up there that when you're stocking the beer on the top shelf, if you're not paying attention, you snag your knuckles on it and peel off some skin.
How many times do you do this a week, do you think?
About twice a week.
All right. Now let me ask you this, and be honest. If you end up bleeding a little bit on the product, do you tell anyone? Do you just wipe it off? What do you do?
I just wipe it off.
Okay.
Normally it doesn't peel enough that you bleed. It just peels enough that it stings and it's irritating.
Usually. So in other words, if I'm going to grab beer out of the cooler, I should not grab from the top shelf, because if there's blood on any of it, that's probably the place.
More than likely.
Okay. Something to keep in mind.
James, let me ask you a question. When you go into those beer coolers, do you put the men's room original ale up front so people can see it? Do you give it like prime location?
I don't distribute that one, unfortunately.
All right. Well, you should move ours.
Get the hell off the line.
You should move ours in front of yours. You know what I'm saying? Because it benefits a great cause. So if you really want to do some good while you're in there, man, rearrange those coolers and put the men's room original ale right up front so everybody can see it. They want to buy a 12-pack of it.
Do you ever go to a certain, let's say there's a specific beer you're looking for.
All right.
So their website will tell you where you can find it. Then you go to the grocery store where it's supposed to be. It's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you walk by 3 times and you move the 12-pack. Maybe it's under here.
A lot of times what they do is they will just try to sell what is on the shelf first before they restock it. They might have it in-house in the back, but they just haven't gotten the slot for it.
What beer were you looking for? Knowing what I know of the beers you drink, they're everywhere.
You don't want
Was it like a seltzer?
Come on, man. What beer were you looking for?
The PBR coffee beer.
Oh, my God. What?
There's a PBR coffee beer?
They are delicious.
What? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I have not had
It was like a month ago. I was going to do something with Mike, and I said, specifically, I was like, because he was bringing some seltzers.
I didn't think they were allowed to do that with caffeine and alcohol.
Oh, I can.
Oh, you can again.
Okay, all right. But that's what the whole Four Loko thing kind of took that out of
You ever had one of those Starbucks glass bottle drinks?
Yes.
Again, don't know if they give you energy, but they taste delicious.
It tastes great.
So imagine that with like a little PBR. I don't know how to explain it. They are delicious.
Really? I've never even heard of it.
It's carbonated.
It is.
Huh.
But my local QFC, I'm like, where is it? And I'm always moving around the other PBR. I almost asked James, like, who does PBR?
What the hell is wrong with you right now? 206-421-ROCK.
Can't find the beer I want.
Hello, Jess. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Our cat just had kittens a couple of weeks ago, but about a week before she had her kittens, she's always been really friendly and never been aggressive, but for some reason, completely unprovoked, I was doing dishes and she came out of nowhere and with all four paws latched on to like right above my butt and then the back of my leg, and she dug in pretty bad. And so that was one of 3 different ambush incidents before she had the kittens, and I got a really bad one on my leg. So I had to go. Well, I went to urgent care for the first set of events, and they gave me antibiotic, like amoxicillin, and it didn't do anything. And so it started getting worse. Like, I don't mean to sound too graphic, but it's like oozing, and it's just, oh my gosh. I know, and it's hideous. It's like, it's on my leg, and it's like the area where, on my back, on my lower back, it's right where your belt line is. And so, just like, my pants are just riding up just a little bit. It's rubbing on the area, like, surrounding. And
Okay, let me ask you this. Hold on. When it oozes, though, if it's in that spot, like water in a funnel, does it all just start rolling towards your butt crack?
No. Actually, it's kind of funny, like, the placement. My boyfriend was helping me put Band-Aids on, or clean it out and stuff, and he was like, if you got a tattoo around it, so it's actually, each paw was, like, directly above each cheek, and so it's far enough away from my crack that it doesn't do that. But it's more of like a seeping. It's not really like
You said your cat was never aggressive before.
Never, no.
Now, is the cat calm now that it's given birth?
Well, she likes our roommate for some reason, but we've been keeping her and the kittens separate, so they're in his room, and I've only seen her pretty much twice in the last 3 weeks because of that, because I'm scared of her. We're actually considering rehoming her once the kittens are nursed.
Wait, so is it all because of this one attack on your ass?
Or the second or the third?
Well, that, and then she also started becoming aggressive towards my boyfriend. She got him not once but twice on each hand, and his hand swelled up like a balloon. And so we think that it's because she's trying to protect the kittens, but this is the only litter she's ever had, so we're not really sure if that's normal.
Well, how many kids do you have to have before you decide you should take care of them?
I don't think I think you can Google that. That doesn't sound normal to me.
I don't know. I've known some pregnant women. They were mean. Real emotional.
So why, and I don't know this, all right? So you said that you believe, you're trying to convince yourself, at any rate, that the cat is just being protective of its litter. Why then is the litter separated from the cat? Like, is that something?
Oh, no, they're all together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in our roommate's room.
You think your roommate is telling her, the cat, bad things about you?
Oh.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Okay, just saying.
Good times.
All right, so how much longer do you think you have to go through the oozing or the infection before it goes away?
Oh, goodness. Hopefully not much longer. I went back to urgent care 2 days ago and said, hey, look, the amoxicillin didn't work, and they gave me something different, and then gave me something for the itching. I mean, it feels like stinging nettles. If you've ever brushed up against stinging nettles,
there's a reason they call it cat scratch fever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not the reason Ted Nugent did.
Right. He was singing about something else.
Something entirely. By the way, Ted, real quick, people are chiming in on your PBR coffee beer. Everyone is saying, everyone who's tried it anyway, they love it.
I've never had a PBR that I didn't like.
PBR is not even my favorite beer, but I was sitting with a mutual friend of Miles and I. We were sitting there one afternoon in a place drinking a bunch, and he's like, you want to try one? I was like, yeah. And then we drank like 3 of them, but it was like 5 or 6 at night. So I was like, I guess there's caffeine, so we should stop drinking them.
Okay.
But that's the only reason why.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
What the hell is wrong with you right now? 206-421-ROCK.
Yeah, you like those pre-made drinks as much.
Yes, I do, friend. Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So, mine's not like the biggest thing in the world. I mean, also, I want to say one thing about you and tanning, Thrill. You might actually get a benefit out of it, even though you don't tan, because a lot of African Americans tend to be very vitamin D deficient because you don't get enough sunlight in the northern latitudes.
Say what now?
Benefit you.
Actually, a lot of people chimed in and said that. They said vitamin D deficiency, and they said a lot of brothers go in there if you have eczema. So if you're a brother and you have eczema, apparently it helps.
I'll tell you another thing that you might not know. A lot of Caucasians in the area are vitamin D deficient as well.
So, a couple weeks ago, I went to the farmer's market, and you've cooked before, Thrill, like the seasonal stuff. It's all like leeks and root vegetables. So I was like, I'm going to make some potato leek soup. And I'm not like the most lactose intolerant in the world. Like I can kind of tolerate it, but I made it was like a 4-quart pot of it or whatever, and I set some aside to give away to a friend. But it was just so good that I think like in a day I probably ate like half a gallon of this stuff. And so I'm just kind of walking around bloated and not feeling very good, basically. Like it was just too much cheese, too much heavy whipping cream, like it's just too much.
Now, do you just feel bloated, or do you like pooping your brains out too?
I'm going more than normal, but it's not like horrible diarrhea. It's just like,
Okay, I got it.
It's just like, I've had to make a couple trips home to use the bathroom here and there.
You know what gets me, man? Like, I'm aware that I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't get it from cheese and stuff like that. I can drink a milkshake. It's fairly mild. The thing that gets me, and I forget it every time.
You're drinking a milkshake right now.
Right, and I'll be fine with this. I'll fart a little bit, but I'm not going to, like, explode out of my ass. It's like any kind of Alfredo sauce, man. I always, because I don't equate it to being dairy, in spite of the fact that it's just made with heavy whipping cream, right?
And it's white.
My wife makes a fantastic Alfredo sauce. So anytime that she's going to hook up Alfredo, I'm like, hell yeah. And I gobble down tons of it, man. And for whatever reason, there's no memory of how bad I felt last time I did this, even if like 4 days has gone by. And it takes about 20 minutes, watching TV, and my stomach starts making sounds, and even the dog is like, are you okay? And then the rest of the night, gone, man. Goddamn Alfredo sauce. Seriously. Even my son, we went to Olive Garden. Now, look, his kids wanted to go to Olive Garden. Fine. My son gets the chicken Alfredo. He's like, what did he call it? This is the truth. That was his quote.
Oh, nice.
This is the truth. Olive Garden, if you're listening, he believes that your chicken Alfredo is the truth. And he meant it. But he kept trying to get me to try something. I'm like, man, I'm not going to eat it. He's like, you don't like it? I said, I'm sure I'd love it. He's like, why don't you try it? And I said, man, honestly, because I'll ask my pants, which he thought was hilarious. But I'm like, yeah, that's right. Dad doesn't feel like pooping himself at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how it's going to go.
The older you get, the more things you got to eliminate from your diet.
Right, Dad, you always
when you're
whine
a kid,
about the heartburn now,
when you're
right?
a kid, you eat the same thing. You could eat anything you
Doesn't
want.
matter.
But you're picky, you know what I mean? So you don't like eat everything. And then you get an adult, you slowly got to take things off of the docket as far as what's acceptable for you to eat or not.
Yeah, right. Even like the super spicy stuff. Like, granted, I was crying and sweating, but I could deal with that. But it's that next day.
Yeah, but your butthole's on fire. And this is not stuff that your doctor has told you to cut out. That's one thing.
Correct.
The doctor says, hey, man, for you to continue to exist, do blank. We get that. This is stuff where you're just like, you don't want to do it. But like, Ted, I'd love another slice of pizza, but I'll get heartburn. This is not my doctor. This is me finally saying, I'm tired of it and it hurts.
My butt doctor said basically, look, you have your family history of diverticulitis is on both sids. And this is something more than you're going to have. So as far as nuts go, you just can't eat as many of them. And I'm like, well, I love nuts. You know what I mean? Right. And I love crunchy peanut butter, but I can't have crunchy peanut butter if I do have peanut butter, which I won't buy because I'm afraid I'm going to choke and die. I have to buy the creamy peanut butter now, which is the antichrist of my peanut butter existence.
You finally came over to the correct side.
I am on the wrong side, but I can't.
Creamy peanut butter is delicious.
It's not.
It is.
Your butt was trying to do you a favor. It said, I'm tired of this crunchy peanut butter.
Yeah,
Get up on that.
It just wrecks me. And that's crazy.
But how many times do you say, F it, I'm going to eat a handful of almonds or whatever?
I mean, if I
because they're always, I have them on my desk right now.
There's some cashews on my desk.
I've had 2 or 3. I have not had any of your cashews. I have had
you had 2 or 3 of my almonds?
2 or 3 of yours.
Oh, they're delicious. They're salt and pepper.
Oh, I bet they're fine. I mean, hell, I love pistachios. I love every nut out there. But I probably almonds would be my first. I go peanuts, then pistachios, and probably cashews. I think that's my order.
What nut does the most damage?
Peanuts.
Okay, so those are the worst stuff.
Sharp edges.
The fact that you have to think about this.
No, it is. You think about when you split a peanut in half,
right?
And you touch the inside of it. I mean, it's hard in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have that problem yet. See, I'm glad.
What the hell is wrong with you right now? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Emily. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey there.
Hola.
I don't know if you guys remember me from yesterday, but I'm the girl with the pig sculpture story.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the 50-pound cement pig.
Yes. So, what's wrong with me right now is that for the last couple months, my fiance got sick first, and he was like coughing really bad and had like a stuffy nose and a fever. So for my job, I have to be tested for COVID. So we got him tested, and his was negative. And then about maybe 2 weeks later, I got sick too, and really stuffy nose, not as much as coughing, but like sore throat, fever, like the works. So this went on for like literally 3 weeks. And the one, like the remaining symptom that's happening is that like I constantly have a stuffy nose. And so like it never goes away. And I use like Afrin or like the...
Does that stuff work at all for you?
It does, but it's temporary, and then it comes back. And so I've been tested for COVID like 5 or 6 times, and it's been negative every single time. So when I lay down to sleep at night, I like to be a nose breather because I don't like mouth breathers.
You know what happens when you sleep with your mouth open?
What?
A ghost gets a mouth hug.
I thought you were going to say spiders will crawl in my mouth.
No. It's better than
not all of them.
Oh, I see. But, well, I can't sleep because I'm like, I don't want to sleep with my mouth open. So I've just been constantly like trying to like use Afrin, and it just like won't go away. And then I used antibiotics because they thought that it could be a sinus infection. And then those made me throw up. So I'm just kind of SOL for the time being.
I want to say some of those nose sprays help temporarily, but then almost like it makes it worse or something.
Like when it comes back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you're. It's like somehow your body gets like dependent on it or something, and it's like you have to have it.
My question is this: when you go to the doctor, they can test you for COVID. I know it's a virus and it's detectable on a test, but if you have a cold, a fever, the flu, whatever the deal is, you think they may go like, you have the common cold.
Right.
Or you have a fever, or you have strep throat, or you have this, you have that. You know what I mean? You would think that you could get a speculative answer. Like, even if it's not on the money.
It might just be all the cocaine use here.
It's just close to give you.
When's the last time you did a bump?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to the doctor, and the only thing that they did was give me the antibiotics, and that just made me throw up, but didn't solve any of my symptoms.
Emily, somebody here makes a very fine point. They say she might have allergies.
Yeah,
because if it's just stuffy nose and there's not a whole lot of other symptoms, there's a good chance you're allergic to something.
Air's dry as hell lately, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, sure, it's so cold.
My forehead's all itchy and dry. My skin's
my back's been driving me crazy.
So allergies, I know you get allergy affected. Does it happen in dry weather more?
Yeah, for me, it's like I get it more when like everything starts blooming. So I'm okay. But trust me, there'll be like 2 weeks in like a month or two. I'll like, I'm feeling.
And some of my wife like cycle together on the allergies.
When you see the green out, then you know you're going down.
It's nice that it's springtime, but like
you go down in flames.
Oh Christ! And then whatever the trees are that have like the little white petals, isn't it pretty? I'm like, I can't breathe. It's not pretty. And then you got to eat and like, it's like a hog when you eat.
Happy spring.
Isn't it beautiful? Shut up.
Juicy chicken. What the hell is wrong with you right now? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.